Okay, so this is a 2x2 system that we are going to solve using the elimination method. Whenever your x's are lined up, your y's are lined up, and your constants are lined up, the best way is elimination. And so for elimination, you're going to be adding the two equations together, the x's, the y's, the constants. And the goal is that when you add them, one of the variables cancel. If I add 3x plus 5x, that's going to equal 8x. And if I add negative 2y plus negative 5y, that's going to be negative 7y. You want one of them to add to 0. And so you can pick either variable. And so I'm going to pick the x's. If I want the x's to cancel, I have to have the same number but opposite signs. And so I can't turn a 3 into a 5 or a 5 into a 3, but I can turn them both into a 15. And so to turn 3x into 15x, I would need to multiply it by 5. And you have to do it to the entire equation in order for this to work. And so for the bottom equation, I can turn 5 into a 15 by multiplying it by 3, the entire equation. And so when we multiply these numbers, we're going to end up with a 15x in both equations. And so we need one of them to be negative. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to pick the bottom one, but you could have made the 5 negative. That way, for the top equation, I'm going to end up with a 15x. And then for the bottom equation, I'll have a negative 15x. So when you multiply, you have to multiply it to all three places. That's called scaling an equation. And so my new top equation would be 15x minus 10y equals 10. And then the new bottom equation is going to be negative 15x. Negative 3 times negative 5 would be positive 15y. Negative 3 times 10 would be negative 30. So this is my new system of equations. And then now, when I add them together, 15x plus negative 15x cancels out, just like we wanted. And so then negative 10y plus 15y equals 5y. And then 10 plus negative 30 is negative 20. And so because the x's canceled out, we now have a really easy equation that we can solve for the y. And so all we would have to do is divide by 5, and we would end up with y equals negative 4. Okay, and so once you have the y value, you still have to go back and find out what x is. And so you can pick either equation, top or bottom, and you're going to substitute y equals negative 4 into that equation. So I'm going to take the top equation, 3x minus 2y equals 2. So I just recopied that equation and put parentheses where the y was, because now we know that y is negative 4. So we can plug that in. And so this simplifies to 3x. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. And then I can solve for this x by first subtracting the 8 from both sides, which gives me a negative 6 on the right, and then dividing by the 3. So x equals negative 2. And so we write the final solution as an ordered pair, negative 2, negative 4, x comma y. That would be the solution to this system.